You use passwords every day to log into your favorite websites and apps. But have you ever wondered how they're actually stored and protected? You might think that when you create a password, it's stored in plain text, like a note in a safe, but that's not the case. Most people think that passwords are stored in a super secure database, locked away with unbreakable encryption, but the truth is more complex.
In reality, password storage is a delicate balance between security and usability, as companies need to ensure that your password is protected, while also allowing you to access your account quickly and easily. This balance is crucial, as a single misstep can have disastrous consequences, as seen in the case of the 2013 Yahoo data breach, where over 3 billion user accounts were compromised due to inadequate password storage.
When you create a password, most websites will store it in a hashed form, which is like a digital fingerprint of your password. This way, even if someone gets access to the database, they won't be able to read your password in plain text. But how does this hashing process work? Think of it like a one-way mirror, where your password goes in, but the only thing that comes out is a unique code that can't be reversed. This code is generated using a complex algorithm that takes into account the characters, numbers, and special characters in your password, making it virtually impossible to reverse engineer. For instance, the BCRYPT algorithm, widely used in password hashing, uses a combination of hashing and salting to protect passwords, making it extremely difficult for hackers to crack. You're watching TrendFlow, where we explain the tech that runs your life. Now, let's dive deeper into how password hashing works.
Imagine your password is like a secret recipe, and the hashing algorithm is like a super complex blender that mixes all the ingredients together in a way that can't be undone.
The resulting hash is like a unique flavor that can't be reverse engineered to get the original recipe. This process is often compared to a game of telephone, where the original message is distorted and changed as it passes through each step of the hashing process, making it impossible to recover the original password. Furthermore, modern password hashing algorithms, such as Argon2 and PBKDF2, are designed to be slow and computationally expensive, making it even harder for hackers to use brute force attacks to crack the hashes. But here is what most people do not realize. Hackers don't always need to crack the hash to get your password. Sometimes, they can use something called a rainbow table, which is like a pre-computed dictionary of common passwords and their corresponding hashes. If your password is weak, it's likely to be in this table, and the hacker can use it to look up the corresponding hash and gain access to your account. Did you know that in 2012, LinkedIn was hacked, and over 6 million passwords were compromised, many of which were weak and easily guessable?
This highlights the importance of using strong, unique passwords for each of your accounts, as well as the need for companies to implement robust password storage and security measures.
For example, the use of password blacklisting, where commonly used passwords are blocked, can help prevent hackers from using rainbow tables to gain access to accounts. What this means for you is that you should always use strong, unique passwords for each of your accounts, and consider using a password manager to generate and store them securely.
You are doing this right now, using passwords to log into your online accounts, without realizing the complex mechanisms that are working behind the scenes to keep them secure.
For example, the 2014 celebrity nude photo leak was caused in part by weak passwords and poor security practices. This incident highlights the importance of using two-factor authentication, where a second form of verification, such as a code sent to your phone, is required to access an account. Additionally, using a password manager can help generate and store unique, complex passwords for each of your accounts, making it much harder for hackers to gain access.
But even with strong passwords, there's still a risk of hacking.
Did you know that quantum computers could potentially break current cryptography, rendering many of our password protection systems obsolete? It's like having a super powerful microscope that can examine the hash and figure out the original password. However, this is still a developing area of research, and most experts agree that it's not yet a major concern.
Nevertheless, companies and individuals must stay vigilant and adapt to emerging threats, such as the use of quantum-resistant algorithms and cryptographic protocols.
For instance, the development of quantum-resistant key agreement protocols, such as New Hope and Frodo KM, is an active area of research, aimed at creating cryptographic systems that can withstand the power of quantum computers. You might have heard about the TeamViewer hack, where users' accounts were compromised and the company denied any responsibility. But the truth is, hacking attacks can happen to anyone, and it's often the result of weak passwords or poor security practices. Beginner's Guide to Passwords recommends using a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers, and special characters to create strong passwords. Additionally, using a passphrase, a sequence of words that is easy for you to remember but hard for others to guess, can provide an extra layer of security. For example, a passphrase like, "I love to eat pizza on Fridays," is much stronger than a simple password like password 123. In the case of password storing systems, they are widely regarded as safe because they use a combination of hashing, salting, and encryption to protect your passwords. Salting is like adding a unique ingredient to your secret recipe, making it even harder to reverse engineer. This means that even if a hacker gets access to the database, they won't be able to use a rainbow table to crack the hashes. Furthermore, the use of encryption, such as SSL/TLS, ensures that data is protected both in transit and at rest, making it much harder for hackers to intercept and exploit sensitive information. For instance, the use of homomorphic encryption, which allows computations to be performed on encrypted data, is an emerging area of research aimed at providing an additional layer of security for sensitive data. So, what can you do to protect yourself? First, use strong, unique passwords for each of your accounts. Second, consider using a password manager to generate and store them securely.
And third, be aware of the risks of hacking and take steps to protect yourself, such as enabling two-factor authentication and monitoring your accounts for suspicious activity.
You are taking the first step by learning about how passwords are hacked, and now you can take action to protect yourself.
Additionally, staying informed about emerging threats and best practices, such as the use of password-less authentication and biometric security, can help you stay ahead of the curve and protect your online identity. By taking these steps, you can significantly reduce the risk of your accounts being compromised and your sensitive information being exploited.
Moreover, it's essential to recognize that password security is a shared responsibility between individuals and companies. While individuals must take steps to protect their own accounts, companies must also implement robust security measures to protect their users' data.
This includes using secure password storage, implementing two-factor authentication, and providing regular security updates and patches. For example, the use of secure coding practices, such as secure coding guidelines and code reviews, can help prevent vulnerabilities and reduce the risk of hacking.
By working together, we can create a safer and more secure online environment for everyone. In conclusion, password security is a complex and multifaceted issue that requires attention and effort from both individuals and companies.
By understanding how passwords are stored and protected, and by taking steps to protect ourselves, we can reduce the risk of hacking and protect our online identities.
Subscribe to TrendFlow for more tech explained simply, and stay informed about the latest developments in password security and online protection. By staying informed and taking action, we can create a safer and more secure online world for everyone.